2 more weeks left in California. As you can see, 2 weeks of sun and the fun and the island in the sun. I'm golden brown. My mom's been making breakfast a lot lately, so I thought we can do a nice, simple dinner. Korean style mushroom hot pot. And think about it, when's the last time you cooked for your family? If you can't come up with a quick response, I think this is the dish. No brainer, very easy, and very, very delicious. Let's start. Mushrooms, mushrooms, and mushrooms. So pick any 3 or 4 or even 5 different types of mushrooms that you like. King oyster mushrooms, they also call this trumpet mushrooms. Then your regular button mushroom, oyster mushrooms, and also a mushroom that deceived me. I thought this was shiitake mushrooms without even looking at it. I put it into my cart, but it looks like it's another form of button mushrooms. But use shiitake if you like, a lot of good flavor from there. And lastly, my favorite, seminaki mushrooms. Again, use all of this or none of this or a few, chicka. And for the trumpet mushrooms or king oyster mushrooms, I'm gonna use around 3. And let's cut this lengthwise, like that. And you know what I took for granted? It's a random thing, but food waste, you don't have to separate these two in the States. You can just toss them away. But in Korea, you have to separate all the food waste from the packages, and it just takes a lot of time. And then next, with the oyster mushrooms, strip the larger ones with my hands. And I'm gonna just use around 3 large pieces as well. Then I'm gonna just chop up 3 of my button mushrooms and 3 of these fake shiitake mushrooms. Just cut the tips off the stems. Good. For these button, I'm gonna keep them whole, just because you can tear into them when you're eating. And let's just give this a good wash. All right, and after you wash them, kind of group them separately. And ooh, I almost forgot the gnocchi mushroom. I usually just cut right through the package, separate the bundle into 2, and then give this a wash. All right, and look at that plate of mushrooms. That's it. That's nice. And the vegetables, very simple, very commonplace. Chop 1 spring onion, cut this up. Yes. Cut this in half, quarters, like this. All right. And the same thing for this mini space shuttle. Here we go. These look a little large. I'm gonna cut them into a finger length size. And next we have this carrot, and it's freaking me out a little bit. Just a little bit too long, too pointy, a little bit too evil. Then make the letter L as in loquacious. Nice. And chop this in half. Then I'm gonna just make rectangles. All right, and then we got 1 onion. We're gonna use all of it. Yes, them into strips like this. And finally, I have a baby Napa cabbage. If you don't have this, you can use bok choy, or if you're living in Korea, find albechu. Let's use like 5 leaves off of this. All right, and then we'll just chop these across. And now our veggies ready. So you can see it's gonna be very healthy as well. We're gonna do 1 cup of shabu shabu beef. I'm actually using chadulbagi. All right, I think this is around a 1/4 pound worth. We're gonna start off with 2 cups of water. That's 1 cup. And then here's the 2nd cup. 3 tablespoons of soup soy sauce. That's 1 tablespoon. And 3 tablespoons in. Then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. 1/2 tablespoon of doenjang paste. And then some gochujang. My mom asked my grandma to bring some gochujang from Korea. And then she packed this humongous, my grandma packed this thing in like layers of bubble wrap and packaging tape. I mean, it looked like a bomb. I'm surprised this went through TSA. I would have trouble explaining around 30 pounds of gochujang. But all we need today is 1 tablespoon of gochujang. And then 3 tablespoons of gochugaru, Korean red chili flakes. It's 1. And number 3. And then I don't know where the sugar is in my mom's kitchen. I looked everywhere. So we're gonna have to do the old school style. These packets are probably stolen from some Denny's years in the past. And creatively, we have got 1 tablespoon of sugar. Yes, put that in. Let's put this on a medium high. I'm gonna mix all the ingredients in here. I'm gonna do this now so that the meat doesn't tangle up with each other. All right guys, and as soon as it cooks, oh wow, and look at this meat. I wanna eat it now, but we're gonna save it just for a little bit later. And once it starts to boil like that, we're gonna turn off the heat. Then we're gonna just line this up. Put some of our oysters here as well. Onions here. There it is, cooked beef right back on top. Alright guys, and look at this, it's beautiful. We got a spicy broth, umami from the mushrooms, sweetness from the onions, and they're gonna all come together. Guys, be patient. You might think that there's not enough liquid, but vegetables like 80% water, so all of that's gonna be soaked out. Alright guys, and once the onions turn soft, I want you to take a quick sip of the broth. That tastes so good. Wow, I'm very impressed. Unagi mushrooms, got our beef sitting in the middle, and all that flavor just coming together. This is what you call and depending on your taste guys, you can add a little bit more salt. If you want a little bit heavier base, add a little bit more deonjang paste. Guys, I have some Japanese udon here. We just put the udon in here as well. So I would like some noodles. Oh, udon noodles are ready. Oh my gosh, I'm turning this off. Get a big bowl of rice, fill it one side only. I mean, come on, come on. I mean, come on. I mean, this is just amazing. And everybody knows you have to start off with the udon noodles. All right, let's take a bite. Guys, all the flavors in those mushrooms just explodes. Right amount of spice. Beef, udon noodles. I mean, what more, guys? What more? And guys, growing up during dinner, like especially my daddy loves to ask like philosophical questions, like, Daniel, what does success mean to you? Or how do you define happiness? And you know, sometimes you just don't want to talk about that. So if you drop good food right in the middle, it's just you get right around it. You don't talk about anything but mushrooms. So that's